Welcome to the Collector's Cast, everybody. I'm Clint, he's Mike, and I know we don't normally have a guest on right at the beginning, but being it's our Halloween episode, please say hello to Michael J. Fox. No, I'm kidding. It's Wolfie here.
Wolfie. Yes.
I don't know. Where'd you get Wolfie?
Wolfie has been with me for a while now.
Raised him since he was a pup?
A pup? No. I rescued him from Salvation Army.
Oh, okay.
A thrift store.
So he was already a half-grown child.
He was already
then.
half-grown at Salvation Army thrift store.
Okay.
And I saw him, and he had a very reasonable price tag on him. And I said, hey, you know what? I'll adopt him.
Well, he's going to have to move in a while when we get our real guest on, but he's welcome to sit here while we talk about Halloween for a minute. And I've put another item out for, we got to explain, of course, this is a podcast, and not everybody's watching on YouTube. We have a life-size stuffed wolf sitting on the couch next to Michael.
He's a werewolf.
A werewolf, not just a werewolf.
He's not a regular wolf. He's a werewolf.
He's a werewolf. Yeah,
yes.
He's. We don't have to wonder where he is. He's right there. And another thing we have that I'll describe to the listeners that aren't watching the video is I have a mannequin head sitting on the table here, which is Halloweeny enough when you think a mannequin head's kind of creepy, but the reason I've got it there is because it's wearing a Jason mask.
Jason mask.
Well, I'm thinking they have Freddy versus Jason. They can make them fight in one of the movies.
We did mention that this is our Halloween episode.
I did say something about that. Yes, It is Halloween.
Okay.
And we've got a Jason mask here, which is signed right on the forehead by a fella named Ari Lehman. And the Halloween freaks out there and the Friday the 13th aficionados will know that name because he played young Jason Voorhees in the first Friday the 13th as a kid. He was the first person to ever play Jason. And he actually, last I heard, in real life has a punk band called First Jason.
Wow.
But this Jason mask is signed by the first Jason.
Wow.
Ari Lehman.
And nothing says Halloween like Friday the 13th.
It does. Yeah, no kidding.
Yes.
And I said Freddy by mistake earlier, but Freddy and Jason have fought, as we know. They're the claw and the mask. And who's the other guy? Michael Myers, but not the one from Wayne's World. The Halloween guy.
The Halloween guy.
He's the other. There's a few guys out there that are freaky.
Clint, do you collect any Halloween stuff?
I do. I love anything kind of creepy looking. I like gothic things, skulls, skeletons, that type of thing. But Halloween, I was going to say in general, as a season or a holiday, has always been just great. As kids, it was all about the candy, of course. But I was thinking about this morning that we were going to do a Halloween episode tonight, and I thought I got to bring up my brother Dave's boyhood friend. And those who have lived in or around Prince George, BC, will know his name because he ended up being a radio DJ later in life. Pete Pinozzo. Everyone's going, Pete Pinozzo. I listen to him all the time. But when Pete Pinozzo was a kid, he went to school with my brother Dave, and apparently he would go out and do all the neighborhoods. He'd get his mom to drive him somewhere, and he'd go with a pillowcase and fill it up in the best rich neighborhood, and then go to the next second best rich neighborhood and fill another pillowcase. And he'd go back at the end of the night with like 3 pillowcases full of candy. Pete Pinozzo was the master of getting candy.
And a huge dental bill.
And a huge dental bill. He had, which he couldn't pay because he works in radio, and we know that doesn't pay very well. Anyway, so we're doing a little Halloween episode, but it's about to get creepier because we're going to have a very special guest on, a guy who you've met and you went and saw his facility.
Yes.
So just get ready to be scared or to think about being scared because he's going to tell us some cool and scary stuff.
He's going to be a great guest.
We'll be right back with Gary Moran from
Reapers,
yes. We'll be right back,
Haunted
folks.
Attractions.
See you soon. And welcome back to the Collector's Cast, everybody. As always, I'm Clint, he's Mike, and we've got a very special guest with us today. Please say hello to Mr. Gary Moran, everybody. How you doing, Gary?
I'm fantastic, actually.
Excellent.
Yep.
Excellent. Well, we're doing our Halloween episode, and apparently you know a little bit about Halloween.
I think I do, yes.
Tell us about your qualifications, sir.
Well, I'm the oldest running haunted attraction, I believe, in British Columbia.
Okay.
Running, ironically, we bought this farm on Halloween night on 1992. So
Wow.
we were destined to be haunters, and we've been doing it a long, long time.
Cool.
Yeah.
And what is the name of this place that people should look for?
The farm is Fantasy Farms, but the haunt is Reaper's Haunted Attraction.
Reaper's Haunted Attraction.
Haunted
And
Attraction.
trust me, I've been there several times over the years and genuinely scared and surprised and panicked
Wow.
all at the same time. It's a great attraction.
You got a picture of his ex-wife that jumps out of him or something?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
I'm trying to think of what it would take to scare Mike.
But Gary, what possessed you? I guess there were two.
Well, maybe something did.
Yeah, because
Maybe.
it's a fantastic attraction. The first time I went there, the best haunted houses I've ever been in.
Thank
And
you.
What possessed you to start that up? Because it's a massive scale of an operation.
Thank you. It is. And what possessed me to do this is growing up as a child. My mother, she's a single mother, but she absolutely loved Halloween. And we spent a lot of time scaring the crap out of each other. There's 4 of us in the family. And my uncle, who unfortunately had lost his arm in a motorcycle accident when he was only 16 years of age, lived with us for a little while. Well, we had a lady across the road, Mary Roop, who was a very excellent artist. And one Halloween, they took my uncle, they took a butcher knife, they cut it in half. They had one sticking out of his stomach, one coming out his back. They shredded his a shirt to look like veins.
Like his arm just got cut off?
Just cut
Nice.
off, hanging down
Always
there.
helps when you're an amputee for the Halloween costume.
Absolutely. And we were all little gaffers.
You guys
and,
are horrible.
We left that night to go trick-or-treating, and we only got about maybe the second, third house, and we heard so much screaming coming from our house that we went back there, and we didn't have to trick-or-treat because there was a lot of candy left over. Uncle Dave would answer the door, and the kids would just leap and be running down the road. So I think that just got into my blood.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah, literally.
Wow. Well, that's pretty cool, and of course that just stayed with you and carried on to today with this. And do you have a corn maze out there too?
Yeah, we've actually we used to have 2 attractions out there, and then there was a bunch of rhetoric with the Agriculture Land Commission, the city of Chilliwack, and so they basically told me I couldn't use the main building that Reapers was housed in. And they didn't like my fabric maze in the back because it was, they considered it permanent. And I said, it's just poles and fabric. I can have this down in a couple of days. So we had to go back and reinvent ourselves to what is allowed under the Agriculture Land Commission. And corn mazes are allowed on agricultural land. And it doesn't say they can't be haunted.
Ah.
So in the first year, this is only our second year doing the maze, but we've been taking elements from Reapers, and I built a whole bunch of basically garden sheds, if you will, that I can move around.
Oh, okay.
So they're not permanent. They're not affecting agriculture in any way, shape, or form.
No.
So I was able to bring the checker room back. I was able to bring the body bag room back. I was able to bring a lot of the elements. And we had last year our best year in 29 years.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yep,
Yeah.
combining the 2 together, and this year we're, I think, on track to even beat last year.
Well, cool.
Yeah.
Well,
So you've taken the corn maze and taken it a step further and haunted it.
A whole new level.
Slight
Whole new level.
spoiler. I was out at Gary's farm the other day, and he was gracious enough to walk me around and show me. And listen, make sure you get out to Reapers this year because, like you said, you've sort of. I didn't think it could get better, but I'm sure. But it is better.
Yeah.
You know, it's better in a different way, and yeah, it's fantastic.
Thank you.
But I wanted to ask you this question. Like, are you, like, there's so much stuff there. You've got costumes for the people there, lots of scary stuff. So are you just like at heart, you go around and you see something Halloweeny and scary and you buy it? Like, are you a collector of it?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Other than sort of for your commercial entity?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we actually have a moranatorium going that I'm not allowed to go to auctions anymore for a little while. So we have bought stuff. We have a lot of really cool movie props out there that were actually props used in movies filmed around British Columbia.
Nice.
people can go get their pictures taken with them, that sort of thing. We have so much stuff in, well, I think I showed you the one building,
Yeah.
you know, it's about, I'd say 2,000, no, it's actually 3,000 square feet, but it's racked 20 feet to the ceiling.
Yeah, it's
and
stuffed.
with racking, it's just stuffed with stuff. And of course, the barn is full of stuff, and we never could use it all, of course, in one season. And with the new haunt, well, we're just going to keep adding more. And people actually bring me stuff now.
Oh,
I don't
wow.
even have
I
to
bet
go
they
looking
would.
for it. Yeah, they go, oh, we use this. Can you use that? And say, yep, let's have a look at
yeah,
that.
that's awesome. Like,
Yep.
because come on, like every community needs a haunted house. How can you not have we've got the best one here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
know?
It dates back to the 50s.
Yeah, it's just
right?
awesome.
I mean, yeah, the Halloween is just meant to have a whole lot of fun.
Yep.
Scare the crap out of people, and that's what makes me happy.
So, what is your favorite article of Halloween or scariness that you've bought or found or collected? Your personal favorite.
I think my personal favorite is the body bags.
Oh,
We got those actually at a Halloween convention in Las Vegas.
okay.
And we chatted up with these guys, and they said, hey, come down to our studio, which was just off the beaten track in Vegas there.
Yeah.
And went into their studio, and we saw these, and we said, we have to have these.
Yeah.
So
So
we've
you
been-
put mannequins in them or something to make them look filled out, or?
No, they're a little bit of an animatronic, and these guys built them. They feel like a body.
Oh,
And they're in an actual body wrap bag.
Okay.
Yes.
And when you hit the air to them, they all jitter and jive and
Oh,
move
geez.
around. And,
It's scary.
It hits you if it hits you at the right time.
no kidding.
And these guys also had one that I haven't purchased. Maybe I will in the future, but it's called The Last Ride.
Okay.
And it's actually a coffin that you lay down in the coffin.
Yeah.
And then it plays a whole soundtrack of two guys loading you up, taking you to the dig you in the hole. It's pretty intense.
I don't know if I could do that.
Oh, you sick bugger.
I mean, I've got some skulls and things in my shop. I'm not against creepiness, but that's a little.
That's pretty creepy, all
Well,
right.
that's where people are gonna pee their pants.
Yep, totally. Totally. But there's a little slapstick in it too, so
Yeah.
it's not that terrible.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, coffins could be cool. Look at Dragula, right?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Totally.
The old Grandpa Munster. coffin.
Yeah,
Totally.
Yeah. I would love to get something like that on the farm, the old monster dragster. That'd be
Yeah.
Oh
cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Clint and I were just talking the other day about the TV of a shipping show that I saw where they had this antique hearse.
Oh, the horse-drawn
the
carriage
horse-drawn
hearse.
carriage hearse. It's curved glass windows, and the thing was so crazy ornate and just beautiful to look at. I guess in a creepy way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to see something really cool, the Thresherman Society here in Chilliwack, they have two hearses. And the one, horse-drawn hearse, 1600s, I think. The one, the insurance company won't even insure it to go to movie. That's how valuable it is.
Whoa.
It is just unbelievable. And I have one on the farm, a horse-drawn one, which was built by a fellow haunter. Unfortunately, he's passed away, but he built it himself, and it's really quite cool.
Yeah.
Really
So that's
quite
a
detailed.
look-alike, though. That's made to look like an original. But this other
Horse-drawn.
one you're talking about was it's so valuable that they won't even let it out in a movie shoot. That's kind of like that one you were talking about that they moved. They said if one curved piece of glass gets busted, it's like $4,000 to change that piece of glass. And the guy had to take the lanterns off to fit it or something in the trailer. It's
Yeah.
just like performing surgery.
Yeah.
Oh, totally. No, you should go take a look at this one. It's pretty amazing.
Okay. Back to the haunted house.
Back to
Yeah,
the
I got
haunted
some
house.
questions for you.
Yep.
Okay, so the people that are the actors there, do you guys like run rehearsals or do you? I'm not trying to give away the farm here, but like
Yep.
it.
We actually do. We've run different programs over the years for
Yeah.
about almost 10 years. The school district came to us. Children graduating, they need hours, volunteer hours. So we would have about 30, 40 students come, and we'd run a little program with them. And of course, then things changed, and so now we just put out open invitations. The children still can come and volunteer if they wish, or that we have paid actors as well.
Yeah.
And it was a really, really, really good program. And I wish they would bring it back, because what we found is that these children came from all the different high schools around town, and they all became friends. So this whole network started with,
Yeah.
you
Oh,
know,
neat.
because, you know, a lot of schools are rivalries and stuff like
Yeah.
this. This was really, really cool. We have people that graduated 10 years ago still come out and put their time in at Reapers.
Wow.
Some people, when they come from university or whatever, they got to come at least and have 1 or 2 nights of scare.
Isn't
'cause
that
they
a
love
neat
it.
side
Yeah.
effect that came out of that? Just you know, you become a gathering place for friends to meet and
100%.
and-
100%.
And for families, Gary, like my adult children who don't live in Chilliwack anymore,
Yep.
they said to me, Dad, what night are we going to all go to Reapers?
Nice.
You know,
nice.
so it's
It's an institution.
It's an institution, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's a really good side story. This group of hunters from Ohio, they phoned up and they said, "Hey, we're coming through. We're going to be in Washington. You know, we've heard a lot about Reapers. Can we come and have a look?" And I said, "Oh, absolutely." So they were staying in Washington. So they came to the haunt. They were a little bit older people, and they had their younger children in their 30s or 35s, and we scared the heck out of them. Of course, back in the day, that particular day, I had over 30 monitors throughout the haunt, and I saw everything and everybody, and I would get fed. So I'd say, "Come on, Washington, you're just about to me." When I went down and I talked to them afterwards, they went, "Oh my God, that was just amazing." And she says, "You know, what really blew our minds is we got to the border, and the guy says, 'What's your business in Canada?' They said, 'Well, you're probably not going to believe us looking at our age, but we're going to this haunted house.' And he goes, 'Reapers?'" They were blown away
Yeah.
that the border crossing guys knew all about.
So you hear that,
Reapers.
potential border hoppers. Just say you're going to Reapers. Oh, come on in.
Yeah, let's not get that out there. But yeah, they were. So we have people coming regular, like they come from Oregon, they come from Seattle,
Yeah.
like and Chilliwack families. It's usually the Thanksgiving weekend. They bring their families. They actually, some of them have told us, they tell their family, "Okay, when you visit us, make sure it's Thanksgiving so we can take you to Reapers."
Nice.
So we're proud. We're very proud of what we've
Yeah,
built.
well, you've done an awesome job there, and it's like I said, and it's walking around with you the other day on the farm. It's just such a positive feeling at that place, and you know, scary,
Yep.
but positive.
Yes.
You know, it's I really enjoyed it. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And another question I got to ask you:
Yeah.
do you have anyone dressed up as a giant werewolf this year?
No giant werewolf. Why? You looking for a job?
Well, we have
about a Sasquatch?
a werewolf that sits with us on set, and he's taking a walk right now, but he might need a job.
He might
Yeah,
do the
he
job
might
for
do the
me.
job
Well,
there,
that would be good. That would be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're always looking for new scares.
So, and when people come there, there's also, I noticed there's a food truck
Yeah.
and a whole eating area to sit. It's a fantastic
Here,
outing.
I was kind of wondering something. What if you just get some weirdo come down? I want to chase kids around with an axe. Do you just give them an axe and let them do it, or do you vet them somehow? Or?
No, we look at them and then we talk to them and then we look at their Facebook profiles.
Okay.
You just never know.
Because that came out of me thinking, oh, it'd be kind of fun to go out there and get a job, dress up, and chase your kids around.
Yeah.
You know, I'm kind of a big guy. Maybe I could scare some kids with that. But then I thought, what's to stop anybody from doing that?
Yeah. No, we have to be careful for sure.
little bit,
for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
But yeah,
for
the barbecue, we have Gorilla Q. So we started a business with our son James. He's the pit master. So we actually started the Big Red Barn Burner barbecue competition in Chilliwack, and now James, he's an award-winning pit master. So you come out there on the weekends. We got ribs and
Wow.
brisket and pulled pork
Yeah.
and all kinds of goodies.
Like I
All
needed
right.
another reason to come
See,
out there.
I
Wow.
won't be cooking this weekend.
No,
Again.
no. It's definitely worth it. And this is just the beginning. Now that we've embraced the new concept and the growth, I think Mike, I was just showing you a little bit of the ideas for next
Yeah.
year. And I got myself a new semi-retirement toy, my tractor. It's a Workmaster 75. And I can lift these buildings with my tractor.
Ooh.
And I'm designing the whole thing so that I can have it moved around anytime I want. So I'm building actually a little bit bigger of a scare for next year.
Well, that was going to be my next question, was if we're going onward and upward, if you're always developing, if you're going, there's no sign of it dying on the vine anytime soon. You're living this life, and you're trying to improve on it constantly and trying to make it better, scarier all the time. Raise the bar.
Raise the bar. And I have 2 boys and 2 wonderful daughter-in-laws now too that are actually embracing the farm.
Excellent.
And so I foresee it. And my my grandchildren scare in the haunted house. Little Rosie at 5 years old last year, she was chasing ladies down with her fake chainsaw. It was hilarious. And
No kidding.
Kingston, who's now 12 years old, he scares the bejesus out of people. And people are just mind-blowing because in the first days, he would climb right up a wall.
Wow.
Yeah, so no, it's a passion, and my whole family's embraced, and yeah, you can count on reapers for many years to come for sure.
Wow.
And it's probably all seeded back to your uncle with the one arm missing going out.
It's all back to my mom, and yeah, they actually, well, there's so many stories there. They used to dress their big lab up. Smudge, his name was.
Oh, yeah?
So he'd have a Halloween costume on. Everybody would be dressed up.
Well, I got the big yellow dog you met there, Chili. We had a lion's mane for him before and a little thing you put on the tip of his tail. It could scare the mail lady pretty good.
Oh yeah, no, for sure, for sure. They got these masks now for dogs that they're wicked. Wicked.
That's the other thing I was going to say before we're running a little behind on time, I think,
Okay,
but
sorry.
I wanted to bring that up again, that when I was a kid growing up in the 70s, Halloween costumes were pretty limited. You didn't have a lot of choice, but hasn't the market just gone crazy the last 20, 30 years? Like with the internet and everything, you can dress up like anything. You can get full-on Star Wars suits and all sorts, pretty much anything you can imagine online, you can get now.
Absolutely. You go to the Halloween conventions now. Halloween is actually second, and maybe might even pass Christmas for spending. And we went years ago. We went March 13th, Friday the 13th, to the 13th annual Trans World Halloween Convention in St. Louis.
Wow.
And it was back then. That's a long time ago now. But yeah, what's coming along is just prosthetics. Everything is just incredibly detailed.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Art in itself.
let's face it, when we were kids, our costumes were pretty lame most of the
Oh
time.
yeah, totally.
And with the technology, they can make things move way easier now and light things up and make things more realistic.
Mm-hmm.
I remember my mom at the last minute running out and get me, you know, what are those, what do they call it, vacuform, those masks that are just the lightest, cheapest plastic you can imagine. All you got to do is like do that and it rips.
It rips.
And I had a C-3PO robot mask just with a stupid elastic on the back. And I go, this is my costume. I'm like 8 years old. She grabbed some tinfoil and draped it over my shoulders around, kind of wrapped around my upper body in tinfoil. There you go. Now you're in costume. So this stupid mask and a bunch of tinfoil. Then, of course, first house, the wind's picking up and blowing the tinfoil off. And the things we had to put up with as kids just to get a little bit of
just
candy.
to get some free candy.
Boy, oh boy.
I'll tell you.
Well, things are not so tough these days for the kids of now because I think they've got a lot more options.
Yes. They certainly do. I'm actually blown away how many little ones come through.
Oh yeah. I mean,
I guess that's something we should. So the little kids are okay too. Like it's all ages.
We recommend 8 years and older.
Oh, okay.
And that's kind of one of my expansions for next year. Is I'm going to do a little Boo Town, so that the little ones can come early in the evening, say 5 o'clock.
A little more fun area.
A little more fun area, but a little haunt, but not scary haunt. And you know, we do that because, yes, some children can put up with it and they go through there no problem, but the majority of them, and I don't care, like from 8 years old, we have teenagers, we have adults that have to leave sometimes in the old haunt that just can't make it.
Yeah,
Yep.
sure.
So
we're always we're always fighting those battles, I guess. You know, and sometimes it could be a serious mental problem or something. You know, you're triggering something. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm not going to
sometimes
blame
it's
them.
just damn scary in there.
just scary. That's
Anyway.
you said it perfect, Mike.
Anyway, sorry, were you signaling time was low, or were you saying your wife is really scared of things when you put... Oh, okay, because you pointed at his ring. Yeah, so your wife gets really... She wouldn't do well? No? She's not going to be a guest anytime soon?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I always find it how funny it is when the dudes come through there and they got their women in front of them because they're scared.
Oh, they got...
Not because they're trying to scare their women, because they're...
Heat shield.
Oh, yeah. No, if I was allowed to, I would videotape some of it and play it back for them. But
Well, I think it might be funny to follow Aiden around with a camera phone and watch his wife's reactions. in your
yeah,
porn
for
maze.
sure. That would be fun to do.
Cool.
The it's it's going all the way through to the 31st, obviously.
Yeah. Okay. That was going to be one of my last things was times that when do you open up in the season? When do you close? And
We always open the first, well, actually, most years we open the last weekend of September.
okay.
Just to build momentum going through there. This year, with all the changes that we had to do, was ironic because this drought that we had, because the corn part of the haunt didn't grow.
Oh.
So it was kind of one of those things, okay, I had all this material from the one I took down. So if you go there, we put up all this fabric, and I sunk 200 poles in the ground
Wow.
to make pathways where the corn wasn't growing. And it's actually turned out pretty cool. We were looking at this, we're going, now I probably could never duplicate that, but people are getting lost in the short corn more than they're getting lost in the long corn because they have to stay on the path.
Yeah.
Right? So with the fabric going around, you don't see any light coming in from the parking lot, which is added to the effect as well. And
Do you sometimes have to go in and rescue people? They freak out and they can't. And you got to go get them.
Yeah. We have a few runners in there that if it happens, we have our sort of secret exit way so we can get them past all the scares so they don't get too scared. So we had last weekend, I think we had about 3 where we had, and they were, like I said, they were from 12 years old to probably 20 years old.
And all 3 weren't me.
We have a lost child in a leather motorcycle jacket. Goes by the name of Michael.
The good news is, folks, is that Reapers is alive and well in Chilliwack.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you for getting that out there.
So make sure you come out to Chilliwack, BC in October of any year and see Reapers because it's only going to get better every time you go.
That's for sure.
Okay.
That's a promise.
You've been Gary Moran. We've been Clint and Mike. Thanks for joining us. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll wrap up the show.
Thanks a lot for being here.
I appreciate it. Thanks for the offer.
And we're back. It's the Collector's Cast. Boy, Gary was a great guest.
Oh, man.
That Reapers sounds like an amazing place.
You know, I'll tell you what, the passion, and I'm kicking myself in the butt that I didn't
Hey,
get
Wolfie's back.
Yeah, Wolfie's here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Hey,
and
Wolfie.
he sneaks around. I didn't get to say to Gary, like, what unbelievable passion that they have. I mean,
Oh, it wouldn't exist without his personal drive. I didn't say that either.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's obviously him and his
effort-
wife are obviously the
Yeah,
force
that it
behind
takes-
and his kids by the sound of it.
yeah, and you know, when you show up to Reaper's Haunted Attraction and you go through the maze and through the hauntedness,
Yeah.
you don't, you're scared and you're worried about getting food and popcorn after and whatever, but you don't really realize the massive undertaking that is to set it up.
Oh, it's gotta be a lot of work.
And you know, it's not like you're going to do it for 1 or 2 nights. They're doing it for the whole month of October. And I'm going to add that to this wonderful area that we live in, the Fraser Valley, British Columbia, Canada. Another just jewel of our community. Gary, his wife and family, and his whole
Good on them
haunted
for doing
attraction.
it.
Awesome.
Good on them for
Yep.
doing it. Before we exit out of the show today, we've of course got 2 very important things. A little trivia question. And I'm going to ask this trivia question to you. I should have asked when Gary was on. He probably would have known. He'd be about the age.
You can ask Wolfie.
Wolfie might know. Wolfie, what do you think of this? Actually, he'll know. The song "The Monster Mash" was performed by a actor and comedian who actually was a singer in a band. But he just for the release of the song, he went by his own name, which included a nickname and the something as his band. Who and the so-and-sos recorded the Monster Mash?
I should know this. I probably knew it when I was younger.
I thought I knew it, and I looked it up, and I did know it. I was surprised that I knew it, and I even remembered the band name.
The Monster Mash. Now, so it would have been...
Aiden, our young producer, are you aware of the Monster Mash?
It was
the
a
mash?
graveyard smash.
Yes, that's the one. Well, let's face it, they break it out. That's the idea how to get famous. Write a seasonal song that's a hit, and every Halloween it comes out. The guy's guaranteed royalties.
I'm going to have
once a
to
year.
pass because I
David Boris Pickett Bobby Boris Pickett. I almost messed that up. Bobby Boris Pickett and the Crypt Kicker 5.
And the Crypt Kicker 5.
Yeah.
Wow.
Actually, the Crypt Kicker 5, it didn't say in the Wikipedia. It just said Bobby Boris, his middle name, Pickett. And he used to do a lot of impressions as a comedian of Boris Karloff and Bela Lugosi and people like that. So he was already good at doing the impressions. Well, you hear when he's talking in the song, he sounds kind of like Boris
he
Karloff
does.
as
He
he's
does sound like
narrating in
Boris,
the
yeah.
song. Yeah. So Bobby Boris Pickett and the Crypt Kicker 5. And
All
that
right.
part, the Crypt Kicker 5, I remembered from my own memory. So if it ends up it's the Crypt Kicker 4 or 6 and we get letters, it's my fault. I didn't research it. I just did it off memory. Bobby Boris Pickett did the Monster Mash. So, Mike, I understand young Aiden has sent you another listener question from one of our fine listeners. Who are we talking to today?
Our listener question today is coming from Malibu in Saanich.
Oh, so not Malibu, California, but a person named Malibu in Saanich, British Columbia, which is near Victoria.
Near Victoria. And Malibu asks, what was your favorite Halloween ever?
Favorite Halloween ever? Boy, oh boy. Do you have yours in
Oh,
your head
I
already?
have
Okay,
mine.
you go
Yes,
first while I
yes,
think
have
about mine.
Went to Disneyland.
Oh, did you for Halloween?
Yes.
And I imagine, I know they do it up for Christmas and that, but I've never heard of
Yes.
people going to Disneyland on Halloween. So did they decorate it and
Oh,
do
yeah.
the...
Yeah, and adults are not allowed to wear costumes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the rule there, yeah.
I
Yeah.
wonder why. Because you might get mixed up with
Yeah,
the staff
probably.
or something?
But
or-
yeah, I would say if you love Halloween, go to Disney at Halloween. Disneyland.
Unless you want to wear a costume, which you're not allowed to.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't remember who it was, but mine I'm going to say, because I got a few different ones, but there was one where we went to some kind of party somewhere at some kids' neighbors or something. I can't remember exactly where, but we were kids. And they did a neat thing where they blindfolded you and you felt these different kinds of food. And they said, like, this is guts and this is brains. And it really felt like it, but it was spaghetti or whatever it was. But I remember that was pretty fun, actually, because it felt like you were really kind of getting a big scare, like, oh, my God, I'm touching brains.
Well, Halloween is supposed to be scary. All right.
I think we've probably beat
covered-
Halloween pretty good as a subject.
Yes, and remember, you people living in the Lower Mainland, anywhere near Chilliwack, British Columbia, get out to Reapers.
Go to Reapers.
Haunted attraction.
If you like seeing creepers, go to Reapers.
And it's a great thing because they've got awesome food there, and you can just make a nice family evening of it.
Yeah, well, like he said, Gary's son is an
An award-winning barbecue champion guy, pit
There you
boss,
go.
pit
There you
master.
go. Reapers is what it's called. Hey, thanks to Wolfie for sitting here. Thanks to the Jason Mass. Thanks to you, Mike. And thanks to our guest, Gary. I'm Clint. This has been the Collector's Cast. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Take care.